Hello guys, I am back. So glad to be back. I missed a few videos just because we all got COVID. We are all recovered, apart from my mom who's still coughing a little bit, and also Emily. Emily only being tested positive about 3 days ago. So bless her, being a really angel baby, while all of us, all the adults, were tested positive. She still remained negative. She was so good. She was playing with herself while I was looking after my parents, cooking, do all that things, because I have the most mild symptoms. My mom had a high fever. My dad had, muscle aches, all that malarkey. But we all recovered. And although Emily tested positive, she only coughs a little bit. She has no fever, no other serious symptoms, which is great. I missed quite a lot of videos. I missed the Christmas videos with you. And this is supposed to be posted on Christmas Day, which is a very casual, chatty, sharing my annual favorites videos. So grab a cup of coffee or mulled wine, sit down, let's have a very relaxed video. Today's video going to share my annual favorite Chinese makeups owning. So they're all Chinese brand, and I only pick the items that I've constantly, continuously used the most often. Today's video going to be long. I try to talk less. To be honest, most of the items, or probably all of them, you guys are familiar with, as I probably done a review about it. If I've done a detailed review, I won't talk everything into details. I will actually link those videos in my description box. So do go there and check it out, especially if you're interested in one particular item. Obviously, not to encourage you to buy all of them. If it's not necessary, you don't need to buy all of them. But if you have something on your wish list, or you're still looking for some particularly good items, do go down to my description box and to see a proper review before you make your final decision. Okay, that's a long opening. Let's get started. Foundation this year, I've been using KATO KATO's. The full name is called Cheese Double Silky Foundation. I've done a full review. Again, links as I mentioned in my description box. Why I chose this one is because the overall performance is kept in a very, very high standard, especially the price line itself. KATO KATO, this bottle is very, very good price line, which I will put over here. From the formulation, the performance, the lasting, minimizing the pores, the overall experience of using it kept in a very high standard and is self-depending. This one, regardless what the skincare you use underneath, what the primer you used or without a primer, or what sunblocks you used, this foundation will perform steadily. It doesn't get creases, it doesn't cake up, it doesn't dry up, or doesn't come to the surface after a few hours. It's just never failed on you. Well, at least on my skin. The formulation, quickly show you guys, is like a thick cream. It is very, very creamy. When you smudge out, it's literally like a thick cream, very thick cream, but it's very lightweight when you actually apply it on your face. The coverage is about 40 to 50%. You can build up, or at least on my skin, I can build up around 60 to 65%. With the slightly thicker formulation, the best tools is damp sponge to actually tap. It will reduce the risk of gets cakey or sinking into the lines, and also give you a beautiful skin finish. This one, it has a very, very natural skin finish. It's more like satin towards matte, but it's not matte. It still kept your skin glow itself, but look like filtered. Look very, very clean and beautiful. And I get closer. Can you see how smooth it is? For lasting part, on my face, 4 or 5 hours, there is not a problem at all, especially if I use a good setting powder which I will talk about. For 5-6 hours, we'll only have a minimum oils in the T-zone, surround the nose a little bit. In winter time, it lasts even longer. This, for me, is pretty much a no-brainer foundation. Whenever I have skin troubles or I have no idea what to use, I will always reach out to KATO KATO. This is the most used foundation since I bought. And it's made in China. Very good price line as well. Oh well, if I can find the link, I will also link in my description box. So do go there and check it out. Setting powder, I think you guys probably already guessed what it's going to be. They are from Florasis. Although when you see the packaging, you will say, they only launched the summertime of this year and it's not like, you know, full year things. Yes, they are. The Jade White collection, yes, it was only launched this year. However, the powder itself, especially the loosing powder number 3, I've been using it since it was launched originally. The first version, I've been using it until now. And Florasis, this translucent loosing powder is hands down my favorite. Been 2 years in a row. My one is number 3, which is more filter fostered finish, and this version, Jade White version, is more designed for combined oily skin to oily skin, so the long lasting part is also slightly better than the standard ones. I use this powder in winter time, can work with the foundation 5-6 hours. Pretty much no need to touch up whatsoever, not even a tissue. It's only minor face oil coming out a little bit, which is totally acceptable. It actually looks even better, make the entire makeup. This is translucent loosing powder, and this is the baked powder. Translucent powder is difficult to see how much I use it, but this one you certainly can. Can you see? In here it's already go down now. This one I use for setting makeup as well as use on its own as a last step for face care. And the ingredients in this collection are also suitable for sensitive skins. So if you are worried about some setting powder may cause, you know, additional acne, may not work with your spotty skins, try Florasis one. 2 of them finish on my face are 95% similar. They're more like silky filtered fostered finish. Doesn't go to entire matte. It doesn't suck up all the glows. The grinding techniques in Florasis and the ingredients they use is very good for your skin and to catches the natural daylight. So when you turn your face, although you apply the powder on your face, from person's to person's distance, your face doesn't look cakey or doesn't look, how to say, fake in a way. You know what I'm talking about, especially sometimes when you're under a spotlighting and when people look at you, or sometimes you look from the mirror, you just feel your face looks so heavy and look like some masks on top of it. This doesn't happen to Florasis powder. And regardless how many layers you actually layer up, it will still remain very thin, lightweight, filtered finish. It does not get cakey up. For Florasis, this brand, if you see my channel or followed my channel for a while, you know my channel in the whole YouTube world is pretty much the channel to look for Florasis reviews. I've done most comprehensive Florasis items reviews. If you ask me to recommend only one item from this brand is their powder. You may be surprised, but that's the truth. If you haven't tried this brand and you want to get something to start with, try their powder. Setting spray, TIMAGE. No doubt, this is my 3rd bottle. I finished the 2 bottles already. TIMAGE, this setting spray, very easy to conclude. Very easy to use, very nice to use. The experience of the head of the spray itself is very comfortable. It's beautiful mist spread out on your face. It helps last your makeup. You can use for sandwich setting method or to use as a primer as well as a dry, like if you're dry skin, just to use a spray without powder. This one would also help you to block your makeup. Thirdly, and the most important part for me, is this does not change the finish of your makeup. A lot of setting sprays will either transfer your makeup into matte or to make it look more dewier. This one doesn't. This one, once it's dried and blocked on your face, it turned your makeup back to what it was. It is so important. Otherwise, you know, when we buy very expensive foundations, we like the dewiness, for example. You achieve that perfectly after you spray setting sprays, then it's changed. Or the other way around, that you get a perfect matte finish after using setting spray, you look a glow again. It's kind of like pointless, right? All the effort you put on your foundation to get a flawless finish, setting spray will become pointless. TIMAGE one will not let you down. Will not. Highly recommend. Again, do check my description box. If I find the links, I will include in below. Then let's talk about the contour. TIMAGE, hands down. Hands down. But this is the new version, yeah. When they launched the first one, that one is good, but the contour color itself is not to the point. The second version is on the notch, is on the sweet spot. The full name is called the TIMAGE Light and Shadow Blending Palette. Let me show you how much I actually used as well. Can you see? I use this too the most. The highlighter, it is very subtle. It is similar like Laura Mercier's one. So if you like a natural glow and you don't want to emphasize your skin condition, this one is also very nice. It's very similar like the Laura Mercier's one, but it's slightly brighter than Laura Mercier's one. Can you see? To summarize, the powder quality itself is creamy fine and melt in your makeup very well. It doesn't stay on the surface. When you tilt it, especially when you look at me in person, you don't actually feel here has contour on, although you may see a little bit more obvious from the camera. But when I actually look from the mirror, when I tilt it, it's very natural shadow. However, the shadow color itself, the palette colors itself, it has limitations. It works perfectly for light yellow skin tone or little bit pale. If you are medium towards dark skin tone, this one is pointless, completely pointless apart from the highlighter. The highlighter actually works for all skin tones, personally feel. But the contour color would only go for medium skin tone. And the matte highlighting powder, if you are pale skin, very light skin, this will be pointless for you. So although I highly recommend this palette itself, but it has its limitations, depends on your skin tone. From the powder quality itself is so easy to use. That's the great thing about this brand, TIMAGE itself. It's designed by a very famous Chinese makeup artist called Tang. His product, the overall feeling I feel about TIMAGE is he uses his professional hands, has put everything into his product, but it's very friendly, easy for people like us who's not professional, who could be a beginners. You will rarely go wrong with TIMAGE. If you are similar skin tone as mine and you still a little bit struggle to find the perfect shading colors for you, highly recommend to check out. And this palette is definitely worth your money. 3 of them are very good size as well. You can actually use for your entire year, not a problem. Blush. When I talk about blush, can you guess which brand I'm going to recommend? If you guessed it right, you know my videos very well. Me, you have connections. I mentioned a million times in a lot of my videos, if you're looking for blushes and you love flower nose and you don't know which item to start with, highly recommend to start from their blush. Any collection. You guys know they had so many collections. They had the potted flowers collections, then they had the CIRCUS collections, they had the strawberries, then recently launched the chocolate one as well. Blindfold your eyes, just pick the colors you like. The formulation, the pigmentation, the blending ability is top notch, absolutely top notch. With the price they charge you, the actual amount, the packaging, the formulation, the overall performance is way exceeded their value. I'm not going to talk about into details as I've done a lot of review about them. I'm going to recommend top two. One is the flower potted blush. My color, I will find the color in my description box. This is this one. Can you see? It's pretty much flattered. This blush is everyone needs, goes with most of the skin tones, goes with all makeup, and looks so natural, beautiful, energetic. Doesn't look like monkey's arse. Look, very subtle. And it's the blush that I've used today. And I also use this one for eyeshadows as well, all in one. So I just normally use a brush, dip it in, apply on the blush area, then goes onto my eyes as well. Just look all fresh, energetic. And the other one is the CIRCUS series 06. It's like a blush duo. On top is more towards like a rosy color. At the bottom is more like a smoky paddle. Little bit a hinted grey. This is the top one and this is the bottom. I don't use it separately. I just mix them together. When you mix these two together, give you a beautiful smoky paddle, smoky rosy color. And this color is very nice to use for winter time as well. Although this one has a little bit hinted grey in there, it looks very elegant but girly at the same time. Highly recommend this one. 06. For the eyeshadow palette, to be honest, it is very difficult one. This three, which I used absolutely the most. Everbob, this one, which I'm not going to reiterate, I've done a special video for it, which is this one. As far as I'm concerned, this should be a must-have for all of us. Regardless you're beginners, this is definitely the one to start with. If you're more mature with your makeup techniques, you will also not regret to have this one. The other two, I also done a video for it as well, which is from Joocyee. They are from their Nude collection, which is this, basically top. Joocyee, this brand, from my experience, what I like there most is their eyeshadow and the face palette. I recommend this too, which I use the most as well. This is a full matte, which is F11. And this has a glitters in there, which is F12. Today I use this palette. I use this very often because for daily natural look, I prefer just fully matte. I find it looks very elegant and it looks very office lady-like as well. And that's my personal preference. But today I used this one. These four colors are just so easy to use. Today you will see I mixed these two colors. No brainer, just pile up entire eyelid and just win out a little bit, to sweep out a little bit towards the out corner, towards the end of your eyebrow, and apply the same color for the under eye area, and then dip this darkest brown color. It's a little bit like ash gray, a little bit ash gray in there towards out corner, up and down. Then apply the beautiful glitter color. This glitter color, oh, this shimmer color is beautiful. Dotted in the middle of the eyes. Then that's it. A natural eye looks, beautiful natural eye looks finished. And the beauty of this glitter is when you wet it or dipped a lot when you apply on your eyelid, it looks like a metallic. But when you smudge it out, it gives you a beautiful glow, like a sparkle diamond glow. And especially when you're changing lightings as well, it shows a different level of sparkle. It's just so beautiful. And it's also very similar finish, like Urban Decay's Moon Dust. This single eyeshadow is A hyper in China. This is Urban Decay, and it's compared with this side, yeah. Especially in the in-room lighting, it looks so sparkle. Two of them look actually very, very similar. I would say Joocyee, this one is slightly more sparkle. Urban Decay, this one is a little bit more, even finer. The dust is even finer. And for Joocyee's price, seriously guys, if you haven't tried their eyeshadow palettes, you absolutely missed something. You missed something. Okay, for the lip, this shade comes to the list of this three. This two as a set, this one as individual, and I can't really decide which one I used even more often because I use them equally often. Sometimes I mix this two, sometimes I mix this two, and sometimes I mix this two, sometimes I use only so. I just pretty much just change between the three. These two are from Joocyee, their Nude collection as well. Two of them, when you look from the camera, it looks very similar. This one has more brown in there, and this one has a little bit more coral towards more nude. And the slightly more towards brown one is 952L, and the top one, which is more towards nude, which is 951L. And this is from Florasis, their liquid lipstick. Oh, the color is M306, which is this one. This one is a little bit smoky berry, but also has good level of brown in there as well. Today, I use this as a base, then top up with this one. This two from Joocyee is slightly different formulation compared to the Florasis one. Florasis one is more like silky smooth, and this two is more like muddy, more like mousse, chocolate mousse, that type of liquid lipstick. Florasis one, it lasts way much longer than the Joocyee, by the way. These two Joocyee one are just pretty much no-brainer. Goes with most of the makeups. You can use slightly lighter color, you know, goes with no makeup or makeup day. The Florasis one, I use it even more often when it's a slightly colder weather outside, because it gives you, you know, slightly stronger color. When you wear like a winter coat, you just need slightly stronger color to support your makeup as well. This color is very lady elegant, like it suits my personality very well. Sometimes if I'm more heavy on the eye looks, I will just do a thin layer. Sometimes if I'm a little bit light on the eye look, then I just do a thick layer, and it lasts really long as well. Yeah, you don't need too much touch-ups unless you had a meal, then you need to touch up afterwards. Once it's set, it's very, very good lasting. And again, full review, I've done it, will be in my description box. And don't forget, I now have a permanent discount code with Florasis. The information is permanently in my description box as well. So if you want to purchase for like Valentine's, Mother's Day, all those anniversary celebrations are coming up again. So here's my little tips. Look for discount code. That's what I do. Like for example, if I'm looking for Morphe's brush, I would always check Kathleen Light's description box. She has a lot of discount codes over there. Obviously, if you're more interested in Chinese brands, use the discount code in my description box. I have Florasis one, I have a flower nose one, I have CBeauty Moss one. So do go there, check it out. Every little helps, isn't it? It's going to be a new year, 2023. Hopefully me and Emily will eventually go back to UK in summertime. Fingers crossed. Very nice, so lovely to catch up with you guys. I hope you liked today's video. Also, I would love to know, what is your favorite Chinese makeup brand or a particular item that you've used this year? I always love to see your guys' comments. Do leave that down below, and most importantly too, subscribe to my channel. I will see you on my next video.